Hello, everyone. This is Nicole Rolfe broadcasting to you live. Liv and I are going to give you an update from the 66th Montana Legislature, which got started this week in Helena. I might be a little early, but as soon as she pops up, I'm going to add her onto this conversation. And also, I can't remember if I am supposed to be holding my phone vertically or horizontally. So if I am sideways, please send me a little message and I will get that updated. So I'm looking at my screen here and I see Liv's watching. I just have to figure out how to get her added now. Let's see. Hi, Dawn and Allison. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get started here really quickly as soon as I can get Liv added. So it's showing me that I can add some others, but not Liv. Let's see what's going on here, Liv. Sometimes technology is great and sometimes it is tricky. So let me just wait a minute and see if the settings update, and we will we'll get rolling. I see Rebecca's watching. Thanks for watching, Rebecca. She says greetings from New Orleans, and she's watching in a taxi, so be careful. This is a really busy week for Farm Bureau. Not only did we start the Montana Legislature, we also our 100th, our centennial annual convention for American Farm Bureau starts this week in New Orleans, and so many of our members are traveling down there right now, or are maybe already there, and looking forward to an exciting convention, which is really cool. So we're looking for that. And oh, Maggie has a suggestion for you, Liv. She says maybe you need to turn it. So I have mine sitting vertically. Can you try that with yours? We'll try to get this added. Thanks for tuning in, and Caitlin, and thanks Maggie for your idea. We'll try this one more time. Well, it's still not cooperating with me, Liv. Sorry about this, guys. We've got to work this out perfectly. We've had this problem before. Oh, Liv's trying from her computer. She's fancy and has a webcam, so maybe that's why it's not working. So she's going to try from her phone, and we'll get her added and get started. While she's switching over, I'll just give you a few updates. Like I said, Monday was the first day of the Montana Legislature. It was a so it's kind of the week kind of gets off to a slow start from a bill standpoint, but for the legislators, they're very busy. They get sworn in. They have a lot of trainings. There are a lot of freshmen this year, so they all go through the trainings, but I'm sure those are really important to all those members. But then Thursday, things really started cracking with bills already. If you are a person that looks at these things, you can check out the Montana Legislature's website, which is leg.mt.gov, and it's a great resource because you can look up any bill, you can look up bill drafts, you can look up legislators, but one thing you can see on there is how many bills have been requested. I looked before Christmas and there were 2,999 bill draft requests. Now it is well over 3,100. And that's not to say that every one of those bills is going to get introduced, but they are all possible bills. So we're watching all those closely, and we are we're tuning in to, see which ones have impacts on agriculture, then referencing our policy book and seeing what we can do to either support or oppose those bills. So it looks like Liv might have a solution now. Oh, Liv, one thing, I see your comment came from the Farm Bureau page. You have to be watching it from your personal page in order to add you. So maybe try that. So like I said, we there we're also looking at a lot of bills that are in the hopper, a lot of things that we know are coming up in the next couple weeks, and working on a lot of those ahead of time. So it's actually been quite busy week for us. On Tuesday there was a reception that we participated in, had a booth at. So John and Chelsea came up for that too, and it was a good opportunity to meet a lot of new legislators. Liv and I have been attending committee hearings this week, and got to introduce ourselves in some of those that we will be particularly active in, such as the agriculture committees, taxation, natural resources, House Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and all of those. So Sue Ann's watching. Hi, Sue Ann and Dawn and Tom. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really hoping to get going with the meat of this live now. If any of you have questions at any time, please tune in, or please pipe up with those. I'm going to try one more time to add Liv. I can see that you're watching, but it won't let me add you. That's so weird. I can add you, Tom. Should I add you quick? Just kidding. So Liv has a bill she wants to visit with you about. She got to testify on it in House Agriculture this yesterday, and it's with regard to pesticide applications, and it's something that we talked about at a lot of your annual meetings, so that'll be a good update for you. We also supported right now there's a lot of department bills. Those are kind of the first ones that get introduced. They are ones where the interim committees have worked on over the interim usually, or just simple fixes that that departments have identified as things that need to be updated. We supported some Department of Livestock bills. The pesticide bill that Liv will talk about is a Department of Ag bill. So we're working on those. And I actually supported a couple Fish, Wildlife, and Parks bills yesterday in House Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Committee. One is they're both the type of bills that offer landowners a carrot for access to their property for hunting rather than trying to use a stick. So those are good bills. They were both sponsored by Denley Logie, who's a representative from St. Regis. And they were both heard, like I said, yesterday in House Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. The first one, I don't have all these memorized yet, so I've got them sitting here. Was House Bill 43. It's actually a repeat of a bill that came in last session but didn't make it through the process. What it does is gives a free elk tag, either sex or antlerless, to a landowner who signs up for a program to allow free public hunting for elk on their property. Those contractual agreements will be set between the landowner and the Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. And for every 4 public hunters that landowner lets on, they'll receive an elk tag for themselves or a family member or an employee. We supported that bill. It's a good way to incentivize landowners to allow hunting, and what I reminded the committee of is we often forget that landowners are sportsmen themselves, and being able to get an elk hunting tag is a really important thing for us, and so it's kind of a good thing to build relations. We supported that bill. The other one was kind of a simple cleanup bill, House Bill 104, and what it does is allows this one is offering the other half of the carrot. So in current law, block management participants, so landowners who have their land enrolled in block management, are able to receive, in addition to the payments for hunter days, they receive a combination sporting license. And so you get that, but it did not come with some of the prerequisites that you need. This was a hard one. I had to say necessary prerequisites a few times. But the things like your conservation license, the aquatic invasive species stamp, I guess it might be called, and some other, and like the base tags. So this just includes those in that giveaway for people who participate in the block management program. Another good kind of common sense cleanup bill. It had all proponents, no one opposed it. So both agriculture and sportsmen were supporting that, which is really nice to have everyone on the same side every once in a while. And we were happy to be able to support that. So we'll see how we'll follow those on through the process. Thanks for tuning in. I see Mom and Ricky just joined. Hello. Sue Ann and Laura are watching from DIA on their way to New Orleans. So that's exciting. I'm going to try to add you again right now, Liv. And, you know, I see again, I can see that you're watching, but I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, I can add you now. Let's try this. Here we go. Bring Liv Stavik on camera? Yes. Okay, here. See how this works. While it's connecting, I'll give you an update on a few things that we're doing in Helena. One thing Liv's been busy doing is and running around and helping set up rooms for our upcoming Calling on the Capitol events, where we're going to invite members to join us in Helena to visit with legislators and, you know, celebrate Farm Bureau and all of these things. So those dates, sorry, I kind of get distracted when messages pop up, but it's still trying to add you, Liv, and we'll give it a few minutes here. January 31st through February 1st is our first Calling on the Capitol. That'll be here before we know it. It's for our young farmer and rancher members. Really great program planned there. So if you are in that 18 to 35 age group, or if you're a collegiate young farmer and rancher member, we encourage you to come. If you're interested in that one, contact Sue Ann. Maggie says she wants to come to the Calling on the Capitol. That's awesome. We hope that you can join us, Maggie. Our big one is going to be in February 12th through 13th. Again, it'll be here before we know it. But this is one that we really hope everyone can come to, because it is when we'll be celebrating Farm Bureau's 100th anniversary officially. So in addition to meeting with House and Senate leaders, attending committee hearings, getting training on bills that are coming up or have already passed, all those exciting things, dinners with your legislators, all these things, we'll also be celebrating Farm Bureau's official birthday, February 13th, 2019. Our organization turns 100. We were actually, you know, officially, that's the date that the Montana legislature passed the bill that said we could exist 100 years ago. So it'll be fun to be at the Capitol on that day. Our Women's Leadership Committee is going to have breakfast in the fan window. And so we'll be kind of trying to build the excitement about Farm Bureau at that time. I am trying to add you again, Liv. Does anyone have any questions about those? Oh, Liv's on! Yay! Finally, we got it.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
I'm gonna tell them about the last Calling on the Capitol, and then I hope you can share us your thoughts on the bill you were working on yesterday and the committee and whatnot. So the last one is Council of Presidents. It's February 26th through 27th. If you're a county president, we hope you'll join us. There'll be some great organizational training, but then legislative training, and then just a great experience in our state's capital. And then the board will be joining us after that. So lots of good opportunities. If you can't come on any of those specific dates, you can come any day you want. It's a public process, and if you're in town, give us a call. We'd love to see you. So I'm going to turn it over to Liv now. Do any of you have any questions for either of us at this time? Well, I'm not sure if Liv can see them on her screen, but I can see them on mine. So if I see one for you, Liv, I'll I'll pop it up to you, but otherwise I'll turn it over.
Okay, sounds good. Well, hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Liv Stavik, your Director of State Affairs for the Montana Farm Bureau. And this was our first week at the Capitol. And on Thursday, we had 4 bills that we were jumping around between 3 different committees to testify on. The committee that I went to was the House Ag Committee. It was a pretty simple bill. It removed the sunset date for the rulemaking authority for setting financial responsibility requirements for commercial applicators. So currently, the financial responsibility of commercial pesticide applicators is a $500 bond for ground applicators and a $1,500 bond for aerial applicators. In the last session, the 2017 legislature recognized that that was a little outdated, and they set a sunset on that rulemaking authority to encourage the department to work with stakeholders like Montana Farm Bureau and commercial applicators to try to find a more acceptable financial responsibility requirement. So the department and Montana Farm Bureau have been working during the interim to try to find the best solution, and they proposed a rule last month that replaced the bond requirement with liability insurance, and Montana Farm Bureau policy supports that change. So we went in on this bill, House Bill 63, supporting it with the condition that the rule proposed by the department replaces the outdated bond requirement with liability insurance. So supported it with a couple conditions, and it went well. So
Good. Yeah, simple bill, but complicated process that Liv's been working on and that you all have been involved in. So that's pretty great.
Yeah.
To get that started.
And
so Gil and Jess just tuned in. Hello, guys.
We also supported a bill, I'm not sure if you already mentioned it, that made it easier for individuals to get permits for aerial hunting. I don't know if you already mentioned that one, Nicole, but our policy supports predator control. So anything that'll remove the barriers to that process, we supported. So that's exciting as well. That was a Department of Livestock bill.
I mentioned that we supported one, but I didn't give the particulars. So yes, that one is sponsored by a new Senator Gillespie, and we did support that. It, just to clarify, it takes off the requirement that aerial predator hunters have to be from in-state, which I didn't even know. But now out-of-state people can also apply. They have to go through the same process of getting permission, showing that they have permission, all of those things. But they are but now we're hoping that that will mean they'll be able to do some more predator control. There, I guess the department has noticed that there are areas where there aren't a lot of people trying to control coyotes from the air, and they happen to be near the borders, so they think maybe we can bring some other people in. Or I guess if anybody has a plane out there and wants to hunt, just get in touch with the Department of Livestock. And of course the landowners to get permission. But Jess is on a break from ACE. Hope that's going well for you, Jess.
Hi, Carla.
Diana's watching. And Carla? Oh, you can see them. That's good. Does anyone have any questions for us? Do you want to tell a little bit, Liv, about the ag dinner or ag lunch we had yesterday?
Yeah, so we are a part of the Ag Coalition, which is a group of statewide organizations that are associated with agriculture. And the Department of Agriculture hosted a luncheon and invited the Ag Coalition to join them. So it was a great opportunity for us to meet all of the members in both the House and Senate Ag committees, as well as everyone in the Department of Ag. So that was a really great opportunity for us all to come together and just look at what's coming up in the next session, what the Department of Agriculture is looking at, what we're seeing. Really great opportunity for us all to get together in one room and talk agriculture issues.
Mm-hmm. And then the Department of Agriculture sponsored a lunch for the ag committees yesterday, Thursday at noon, and had some great pasties and some beer cheese soup, and introduced all of the Department of Ag staff, well, a lot of them, and us as well, and we were able to kind of get acquainted. So it was a good deal. It's nice to have these kumbaya moments at the beginning of the session. We distributed some flyers to all of the legislators also that show who represents all of the agro organizations. And so now, and they told us that we've heard from several members that they love those things because they know who to contact and who to get in touch with. So that's really great.
Yeah, yep. No, we've heard a lot of good feedback on that. And on that note, for you members as well, definitely take this first week while things are still a little slow for those legislators to introduce yourself as a resource. All 150 legislators, whether they always agree with you or not, they are leaving their jobs and their families at home to come to Helena and serve the people of Montana. So introduce yourself, thank them for their service, let them know that you are a resource for any agriculture questions that they run into in the session.
Yep. Well, if there's no questions, which I haven't seen any sign pop up, we're going to sign off pretty soon. I've got to jump on a Real Montana call. Like Liv said, Liv and I got up there on Sunday this week up to Helena, and the legislators have been working hard. They're not working Saturdays in January, so they will be home. Well, at least that's on the schedule for now. So they'll be home a lot of Friday nights and home over the weekends, and they'll be there for you to visit with. So they'll be in district. Make sure you say hi. Make sure you visit with them. We'll give you updates on bills as they come out. But I guess I've not seen any questions. Oh, Trina says thanks for the updates, and she just joined Farm Bureau 10 seconds ago. Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate your membership. We appreciate all of you guys' memberships, and we couldn't do this without you. We're happy and proud to represent your policy, which you all create. We love to be able to go to our policy book and know exactly where you all stand, so we know what to do on all of these bills. Because as I said at the beginning, there's a lot of them, and it's great to have good, smart guidance from you farmers and ranchers out in the country. Thank you for tuning in, Allison. Everyone else, anything else you want to add, Liv?
I don't think so.
We'll be doing. Sorry. Okay. Well, this was Liv's first Facebook Live, and she was nervous, but I think she did really great. So let's give her a round of applause. And let's see what else. We'll be doing these updates every Friday at 10 o'clock. We started a little early today so that I could get on my next meeting call. But I thank you all for tuning in, and we hope you'll tune in the weeks to come. And like we always say, fire questions at us. If you've got specific bills, let us know. We'll check them out, and we can talk about them live, or we can talk about them directly with you. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Next week.
Bye-bye.